morning. I'm laughing to myself right now because this has the potential. This morning with Mark this morning has the potential of being a little bit of a depressing subject. And yet what I want to do, it's so valuable if you understand it. What I want to do is actually release you and give you freedom, okay? Here's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about shame versus guilt. This is a really important subject. And we use these words in really weird ways sometimes in our culture. I'm going to give you my definition of these, and these are closer probably to the dictionary definition because I want you to understand that one can be very helpful and one is never helpful. Okay? Guilt focuses on an action. I've done something or I haven't done something. Think about this. When a judge says you are guilty, what they're saying is not that you're a good or bad person. What they're saying is that we have said you have committed some act. That's it. What guilt is about your actions, about what you did or do. What shame is about who you are, and it's a very different subject. I encourage you to feel guilty at times. It's good to feel guilty. What it is it's an admission of like, hey, I did something here that I'm not happy about, and so I'm going to change it. I can be guilty of bad marketing or bad sales. I can be guilty of saying something that I shouldn't to my family members. That it's good to feel guilty about that, to go, wait a second, I don't like how I acted, so I'm going to change it. And the beauty of this is that it's not about who I am, it's simply my actions. When we can separate our actions from who we are, all of a sudden we are able to get far more out of life. Because instead of judging ourselves constantly, we go, oh, wait a second, so I did this, that's not getting me what I want, so what am I going to do to help myself? Shame, completely different story. Shame is there's something wrong with me. There's something deficient in who I am as a human being. Now, the reason that's different is because if it's who I am, well, now how do I change? What hope do I have? What do I change? What can I do? Very little. At least this is how it happens psychologically, right? But when we can externalize something and see it as an action, so I'm a good dad. I love my kids. I acted inappropriately here. I was cruel or mean or short-tempered with my daughter or my son. That's not an act that aligns with who I am. There's no shame involved, but there's guilt, an admission of going, I didn't do this right. And you know what? This gives me an opportunity to correct it. I apologize to my kids. I apologize to a family member. I'm pretty sure I apologize to a family member every day, at least once. Okay? Probably not all 3 family members every day, but at least one family member every day. I apologize because I recognize, hey, wait a second, I did this, it was inappropriate, it wasn't something that I want to do, an action, so I'm going to change it. And so I'll apologize and get right with somebody and move on. And that's the beauty of guilt, is that you can pay the price and move on. You can go to prison or do whatever, thinking about the judge again. You can go to prison or do whatever, but then you're free. Now it's not counted against you anymore. Now I realize in our society, once you are labeled a criminal, so it's the shame part, right? That's the personhood part. Often there's judgment there. But really, in the court of law, once you've done something, you've paid the price, you're done, you're free. Because it's just the action. So pay the price. Get over it. Move on. Don't internalize things. Don't take this on yourselves. Because it's difficult to change who we are. Now, it's not. We can change who we are. It takes some time, it takes some energy, it takes some help. If you're struggling with this, please reach out to me. I love helping people with this because so many people live with so much shame when all they need to do is recognize a few actions and externalize it and go, hey, listen, I can change these things. That's where movement happens. That's where change takes place. So if you're struggling with something, I'm gonna challenge you today, for this morning. Attempt to externalize it and ask yourself, this is helpful for other people too, in relationships. Ask yourself, was it something that I did or is it something who I am? Catch yourself. Don't ever tell yourself that you're stupid or you're foolish or that you're clumsy, because that's taking on an identity. Say, that action was maybe stupid, that action was short-sighted, but that doesn't mean I'm short-sighted. It means I made a mistake. You'll be far more profitable in life if you externalize these things and then take action to correct them, rather than taking on all the crap and the crud of all the entire world by saying you are somehow deficient as a human being. You are not deficient as a human being. I'm going to say this very clearly. You are not deficient as a human being. You are somebody who has enormous amounts of beauty within yourself. The challenge is how you release that. And now the way you release that is not by taking on the worries of the world. The way you release that is by starting to see, hey, wait a second. Certain actions help me and certain actions don't. And that's the challenge for you this morning. Simply look at your actions. Start asking yourself, what happened? What did I do? What could I have changed? What am I going to do next time? Now all of a sudden you have the keys to change, rather than living in the pool of despondence, right? I honestly want you to take this information, internalize the information, let it change who you are and how you act, and make it a better day.